Okay, so for a few practice problems, if you have the Shigley's machine design book, I recommend working the beam stress problem. There's a couple problems on torsion that are really good. Angle of twist is something that shows up all the time on machine design exams, mechanics and materials exams, the fundamentals of engineering and professional engineering exams. Maximum stress, we worked a few problems. There's a few videos you can work through with that, but there's also a really great problem on page 134. So I recommend working those. And then just some other things to kind of think about. I started to work out a problem here, and I think I proved myself wrong, potentially, at least in the way I designed the problem. So I'm just going to walk you through this real quick, and then you can kind of see what I was trying to show and then understand it for yourself as well. So what I wanted to explain was the difference between, like in Shigley's machine design book, you have in the appendix some tables that look a little bit like this. You have your stress concentration value, and you have this ratio. Now, this ratio is based on, okay, you have a little divot here, and there's some stress that's concentrated in this piece of metal. So, or even the shape, we'll say. So, I wanted to look at, okay, what's the difference between having a moment force, right? Or having a moment, we'll say, versus a force on this, okay? So there's a chart for the force, and then there's a chart for the moment, and they're slightly different. They'll give you different values. Now, I had, in the pink marker, you can see I have the K values that I got using the force, but in the darker values, I had the ones getting the, going from the moment chart. I tried to keep the values the same. But then I wanted to show what would happen if I increased the radius of this divot. But then I found, okay, well that decreases the D value here. So my calculations over here are kind of not exactly what I was trying to show, because I was trying to see what would happen, and at first I made a conclusion, but that may not necessarily be a correct conclusion to make. It depends on what you're doing